Disney is regularly trounced in the ratings by two children's properties, one being Bluey and the other being CocoMelon. In a world where Disney is functioning as it should, they would never consider buying a property like CocoMelon that is so efficiently produced. But if they decided to buy their parent company Candle Media, they might also be able to snag their executive team, which includes not just one, but two former CEO candidates. Let's talk about that on That Park Place. I'm Jonas J. Campbell, an investigative reporter for That Park Place, where we talk about streaming, theme parks, entertainment, and video games. Today, we're talking about the annual executive predictions article from CNBC's Alex Sherman, in which a dozen or so executives anonymously tell Sherman their predictions for the next year. Many of them are right on the money, and some of them are definitely not. Bob Iger's former right hands Kevin Mayer and Tom Staggs are co-CEOs of Candle Media, which owns CocoMelon, the most popular children's brand on YouTube and Netflix. While Bob Iger said he's not going to solve his problem this time by buying another company, Candle Media could solve three problems at once for the Disney company, that being a much-needed injection of brand relevancy with kids and two world-class executives with intimate knowledge of how the Walt Disney Company should function. Let's get into it. Here's the next prediction here. Disney will buy Candle Media, and Kevin Mayer will position himself as a leading internal candidate to take over for Iger. Anybody have any thoughts here?
I think that's
playing it right now.
No, Culture. I'm just affirming. Culture, your thoughts.
No, I think this is going to happen. I think this is the most likely thing. I despite the fact that I know a lot of people are pulling for the female CEO maneuver, Dana Walden would be a disastrous choice. And I think everybody inside and outside the company knows that. And I think that this is where the smart money would be. And you know what? I'm not going to say I'd be surprised. In fact, I'm almost as surprised as we didn't hear Staggs and him like kind of linked together at the hip forever and ever.
Well, I will point out that, of course, if you buy Candle Media right now, you would have to deal with the issue of Kevin Mayer and Tom Staggs together.
Right.
And as many people like to point out, myself included, the Disney company runs best when there are two different executives in charge of the company.
Let me throw out an ultra hot take. The ultra hot take is, I think this is right.
Yeah,
I think that
no, Pro. If you put him in a wig, the chin would just be too much there. I mean, that is too nice of a chin to really.
Maybe even spicier than that. I'm going to say that in this convoluted world in which we live in, with the way that the Walt Disney Company functions, that what we have just witnessed happening with CocoMelon and it going hard into the culture war all of a sudden after having been the beneficiary of not being part of the culture war, that I think that its foray into that is because it's being positioned now to be purchased by Disney and become part of Disney Plus. And here's where the really hot take comes from. Do not be shocked if Candle Media is picked up by Disney. CocoMelon is on Disney Plus in the future, and Bluey exits the platform.
Oh, man.
That would be... I hate all of that, but also it would make it a very clean break for all of us hoping to end our relationship with the world.
Let's walk through it though. Okay, think about it this way: is it likely that Disney gets Candlelight Media?
Candle Media. As long as Blackstone, not to be confused with Black Rock, as long as Blackstone is willing to part with the most successful children's brand as far as viewership, then yes, I agree with you. But Blackstone also wants to make money, so it's possible.
Disney's ready to pay some money. But here's the thing about it, all right? If let's live in a world where Disney gets CocoMelon on Disney Plus, do they really want Bluey at that point? Because they're paying for Bluey, but they can't merchandise Bluey. They would merchandise the living daylights out of CocoMelon. They would have JJ with Mickey Mouse plushies ready to go for Christmas, and that gets Disney back into the retail space. For everybody out there wondering, why would Disney want CocoMelon? What did we just cover? We just watched as Hasbro was decimated by the relationship with Disney. We covered here, on the Pro Channel and here on That Park Place, we covered a month in advance that, hey, the sky is falling for Disney retail. The sky fell, and then the stories came out, well, Hasbro is destroyed and devastated because of Transformers. Oh, yeah, sure, right. It's Transformers. It's Magic. No, it's their biggest partner. It's Marvel and Star Wars collapse. So how does Disney get back into the retail space and start becoming dominant again? Well, Iger only knows one way, and that's to buy stuff. What would he like to buy? He'd like to buy JJ and the mommy and the daddy and the ugly little siblings that have the same face but different hair swaps. That's what he wants. Give him CocoMelon.
And I'll just point out, of course, that Bob Iger's best moves have always been buy something else that is successful and integrate it until it loses its shine, and then buy something else.
I have previously I have kind of offered up this as a potential take on where the company might go, but what's the current valuation of Candle Media right now? I mean, how much do you think
It's
Disney
private
could buy it
equity,
for?
so I'll say they do have a collection of brands: Moonbug, Hello Sunshine, which is the Reese Witherspoon company, Faraway Road, Attention, Exile, and Candle True Stories. So they own a handful of successful properties, like Daisy Jones and the Six, if that's the name of the show. They own that one.
Yeah.
So
But
there's
Moonbug is far and away their best.
absolutely Moonbug is it is a juggernaut, and it makes money all around. All of those are available on Netflix for free, and on YouTube for free, and still it ends up being one of the most streamed shows on Netflix on top of it. So Netflix is paying giant amounts of money to have CocoMelon over there.
And is
And
CocoMelon,
Disney,
Jonas, is it your understanding that it's one of the most lucrative properties on YouTube, period?
it has to be, because it's babysitter content, and that always does well. Now they're not going to be releasing their figures. There's also robust merchandising for CocoMelon, not on a Disney level, but kids are asking for CocoMelon merchandise at major holidays. So,
Which the Walt Disney Company could definitely fulfill. So we're talking at least a couple $1 billion. I mean, it's an interesting take. I mean, I remember a lot of people were surprised that Kevin Meyer didn't get the CEO gig the first time. A lot of people were surprised that Chapek was chosen as the guy, because it really did look like Kevin Meyer was going to be in the driver's seat there. And then randomly we get Chapek, and all hell breaks loose, and we know how that story plays out. So. Now we see Kevin Meyer getting involved in some, Disney deals in India and so forth. I think he's got a good chance here.
and we are going to talk about that here as long as we get to it. Now, we are about to lose Michelle here in just a couple of minutes, unless you've got more time that we didn't know about.
No, I'll need to jump off at 1.
So before we wrap up this portion, there's a couple more predictions that I think we'll breeze through in a minute. But I wanted to throw it to Michelle first. If you have any final thoughts and you want to tell people where they can find you, we're going to do super chats right after.
Oh, I actually was going to ask, in that scenario of Disney buying that company, would they get all of the ones you just mentioned, or just that one cartoon? That
I think they would get it all, most likely.
Unless they spun off a new company and work this out in a more complicated way. Those are all possibilities.
Good point.
Gotcha. Because the only thing I was thinking is that the Reese Witherspoon company would actually be good if Disney does buy. Where are they on Hulu? Where's that?
So right now, Disney has issued a check for $8.61 billion, which is the minimum amount that they will have to pay for that 1/3 of Hulu. They now have full control of it. They might have to pay more for it later.
Right.
The only thing I was going to say is I actually think that Reese Witherspoon company would be really good for them for Hulu. Because
I think you're right.
Yeah, because currently her stuff goes on Netflix, Hulu. She's done HBO before, actual movies that are released. That would be kind of a huge pickup for Hulu, in my opinion.
And she's a good name in the space for the brand that they seem to be focusing on. I know this is a controversial statement, but I think Disney is not focused on kids in the way that they should be. They're more focused on adults and specifically women.
Oh, the way that was said. You're right. They're not focused on children in the way they should be.
Well, yeah.
Well, especially after some recent revelations.
Okay. I don't know where we're going with this right now, but I'm going to reel it back in. But yes, I do
Sweep
think
it away, Jonas. Get the brute. Never mind.
As down as I am on the Disney company, Hulu is one of the better things that has happened for Disney right now, and that is a brand that still has some strength. I think they're going to probably end up killing Hulu now that they fully own it. It's been a slow death, but I think they're probably going to finally smother it with a pillow as they integrate it into Disney Plus.
Right. Yeah, they should merge it the other way around.
Yes,
I agree. They've made some indications that they're going to put Disney Plus onto Hulu, which I think that's a much better idea, because if you're going to release like one ridiculously expensive show every month onto Disney Plus, the expectations are lower. there. Whereas if you go on to Disney right now, there's barely anything showing up. Percy Jackson, which we're going to talk about, Disney's little lie about Percy Jackson being the most popular show on television.
Oh, that one's interesting.
Like that. Or that's what they want you to think. But Disney right now makes money on Hulu. They make twice as much money per user, and they have more users on Hulu than they do with Disney Plus. And Disney Plus costs them ridiculous amounts of money to produce content for. So they've got the cart before the horse here, and they really need to thread the needle on Hulu. It's not even threading the needle. They just need to not screw up with Hulu, and they look like they're going to do it. So,
Well, they probably will.
thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Do you think Bob Iger will break his one rule and buy yet another company to fix his problems? Or do you think he'll let this one go in order to select another candidate that will keep people longing for the olden days of Bob Iger? Tell us your thoughts, because we would love to know. This clip was part of our now regular Thursday live stream, which starts at noon Eastern time. Of course, if you're not in that time zone, just hit the notification bell if you'd like YouTube to just tell you when that is. Like this video if you like this video. If you know someone who is as interested as we are in this sort of nerdy stuff, then maybe you should share the link with them. And of course, please consider subscribing to That Park Place for all the news that should be fun.
Thanks for watching That Park Place News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media account.